John Bunyan, who had the same thing that the Apostle Paul had, the same thing that all the saints throughout all the ages have had. God is here, though he is not perceived by his enemies. He is here, and all that he is comes with him. Bunyan said, I could sit in jail for 12 years, free to leave anytime I wanted to, as long as I compromised, which I couldn't do. So here I sit in an unlocked cell. And then he said, what my captors didn't see was the invisible God who moved through the bars and sat with me in the cell and comforted me. When he got out of prison, he thanked the jail. You read his biography, Grace Abounding to the Chief of Sinners. He said, I thank you that you were in my life, for it was there that I learned to live upon God who is invisible. When Moses walked into Pharaoh's court, Hebrews 11 tells us, he saw him who was unseen. He's walking into the leader of the world, leader of the greatest superpower, and he's commanding him to obey God. And Hebrews says when he walks in, he saw the king, but the king wasn't what had his focus. He saw with the eyes of faith the God who was in the room, who in that moment supplied Moses with exactly what he needed, said, you let my people go. The courage comes from knowing that God is with you. One person with God is a majority. We're talking about the fact that wherever you go, all that God is goes with you. His presence brings his authority. It brings his power. It brings his peace. It brings his joy. It brings his goodness, his care, his mercy, his pity, his compassion, his sovereignty. God sees, loved one. God knows. You say, nobody understands. Did you know in Isaiah 63:9, it says God was continually with his people, and in all their afflictions he was afflicted. Did you know that? In all of your afflictions, God is afflicted. He feels the full agony, the pain, and the pull on you. He enters into that because he is fully present, more present than even you are. Stephen Charnock, the great Puritan, said this. I thought this was really helpful. It comforted me. I pray it will you. He said, the omnipresence of God is a comfort in violent temptations. No fiery dart can be so present with us as God is present both with that and the marksman. The most raging devils cannot be so near us as God is to us. The omnipresence of God is a comfort in all violent temptations. It is a comfort in calamities. He is present with his people as a sanctuary to support them. He is more present than their adversaries can be present with them to afflict them. He calls himself a very present help in times of trouble. He is present with all things for this end. And then I love this. He says this, you cannot say of any corner of the earth or of any dungeon in a prison, God is not here. If you were cast out of your country 1,000 miles off, you are not out of God's precinct. His arm is there. So there is not a moment, he says, that we are out of his presence. Therefore, he says, let us look upon nothing without thinking who stands by, without reflecting upon him in whom it lives and moves and has its being. He's exactly right. God is with you. So that's the number one thing. You are not alone. God is there, and all that God is with him, with you.